Hey everybody, today on Randy Reviews It, we're going to be talking about this. The EOTECH XPS3 and just EOTECHs in general. Why I think they're cool, but why I think that I probably won't keep this and I probably won't use them in the future. So let's start off with the good on this. So the good thing is, this thing is built like a tank. It has all sorts of housing and metal and good stuff around it. It's very solid. It has a great QD mount on it. I'm very happy with that. I think it puts it even at a decent height. I know a lot of people use risers on it yet or something like that. I'm not opposed to using that riser, but I don't think you need a riser necessarily depending on your setup. The battery, the window is pretty big. The donut of death is always fun. I think these do really well under magnification. So I've slapped a magnifier on here a few times. I do like how it looks under magnification because they have the 1 MOA center dot, and with magnifiers your astigmatism goes away. That thing is pretty precise. You can take it out pretty far and you can do work with it. And I know a lot of people will say like the donut of death, you can basically range find with it too. Like, you know, if a man's torso fits here, if the whole guy fits here, you know, that's how far away it is. That's where you use if you want to take longer shots. I think the donut of death works pretty good for like close up as well, like home defense. It's really good stuff. So this is a very rugged optic. It's probably one of the best if you're running night vision, just because you don't have that reflective, like I can't see the dot, I can't see anything in there because there is no dot. Like the whole screen is holographic. That's what's different with these EOTECHs. So this is really a night vision king, I think, but at the same time, passive aiming under night vision, like I think you're gonna want a laser for the few night vision shoots I've gone to. Like trying to look through an optic with night vision is not fun. Using the laser aiming module is a lot better. So yeah, let's get into the bad though on why I'm not going to probably keep this sight and why I think you should reconsider if you're looking at getting one, or maybe if you have one. So the first thing first is I wouldn't necessarily want this on a home defense gun because it doesn't have like a shake awake and you can't really leave it on all the time. You got to hit one of the power buttons, whether it be up or whatever. You gotta press the up button, which I mean it's easy enough to press, but it's another thing that you'd have to remember in the process, train, sort out, all of that stuff. The battery life on these also isn't great. So if you're going to put this in a safe and take it out every once in a while, you have to be aware and cognizant of the battery life as well as hitting that, you know, on button basically. So it doesn't make for a great home defense gun. It's basically like if you know you're going to get into something, it might make sense because you can turn it on and it'll last, you know, I think it's like an hour or something like that. It'll stay on. But yeah, so battery life and having to turn it on. The other thing is it's obviously heavy. It's got a lot of armor around it, things like that. You'd be much better served, I think, with like a red dot in most instances. And just in general, the holographic stuff doesn't look great to the eye. Most people look at this and they think something's broken. No, that's how it's supposed to look. It's kind of like a bunch of fuzzy things, but that's how holographic sights work. So if you have astigmatism, I don't think this is better for you. Some people argue it is. Depending on your eye, I still don't think it's better. With this, the other thing is So I know this looks disjointed. I just thought of something the next day after recording this video on my EOTECH, and that is talking about delamination. Thanks for driving by. Delamination is a real thing with these. So when I first traded this, I traded a SIG Romeo 4XT Pro for this. And when I first traded this, I was like, all right, looks all right. There's a few lines in there, like, what's going on? And then as I got home, I noticed that it was delaminated. The good thing about delamination is EOTECH will replace the glass for, like, I think it cost me like 80 bucks with shipping. And they replace the glass. But it is something to note that delamination does happen. You see it on Reddit, on forums, on anything like that. So it's possible. The longevity of this between the battery, the delams, and everything like that, it's just something to consider. If you think that you're always going to be able to send it in and you have enough backup stuff that you won't mind sending it in, and you got night vision, you're obviously pretty well off. So maybe it's not that big of a deal. But if you're kind of, you know, like most people right now, struggling financially with certain things, or I shouldn't say struggling, but not doing amazing financially, and this might be one of your only red dots, it's gonna suck if you have to send it in and get the window changed. So just something extra to consider. I apologize for not filming it at the time. I kind of rushed through things, as you can see with the length of this video and probably the first part, but it's just something I wanted you to consider, wanted you to know, wanted to make sure you were aware of. Thanks. So yeah, the red dot reticle is going to be clear for most of you. It's going to look better. Nice thing is with most of the red dots too, with the donut of death, is you can actually toggle between dot and donut of death. This, when you buy your reticle, you're stuck with it. So depending on if you buy just the dot, if you buy the donut of death, if you buy the donut with the rangefinders in there, you're stuck with it. There's no option to switch that. That is pretty standard on most red dots. So red dots are going to be lighter. The battery's going to last longer. You can leave them on all the time, or they have shake awake, and they're great with that. And the reticles are just better options. The only place that this thing excels at is night vision, and I hope during night vision that you can just use a laser aiming module. So yeah, this looks cool. I'm sure you enjoy it in your video games, but for practical purposes, for me as a civilian, it doesn't make a lot of sense. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. You know, leave your comments, leave your experience, like, subscribe, all the fun stuff. I appreciate all you. I appreciate any constructive comments that you have. And yeah, let's keep finding out cool stuff. Let's keep trying out cool stuff. I'm hoping to potentially trade this for an aim point, especially like M5S is what I've been looking at. So yeah. All right, everyone. Take care.
That's what you want, sir? Ah! I don't like shooting at people. I don't want to kill anybody. I just like scaring them, so I shoot right over their heads, you know, way all clean over their heads. But as long as there's a big flame coming out of the gun and, you know, you look mean enough, it's usually enough to scare the shit out of somebody.